Here we go, Sharks. It's Shark Week, and now it's time for the Meg. This movie is a disappointment.
Oh, Kristian was not thrilled with the Meg. Now, look, they announced the Meg, and they said it's this giant 75-foot Carcharodon megalodon, an extinct prehistoric dinosaur coming back into the forefront, and only Jason Statham and a team of scientists can stop it. It sounds like the most fun premise of all time. However, I will say that everybody knows how much I love Jaws, one of my favorite movies of all time. I have been let down by shark movies, and I don't know if it's because I'm too hard on them, because a lot of people like The Shallows, the Blake Lively movie, more than I did, because I was a little let down. Yeah. And with the Meg, I was going into it. I was over the moon excited about it. I thought John Turteltaub, the director, was a great choice.
National Treasure fame.
Yeah, because National Treasure hits the vibe that I wanted the Meg to hit, because it's got sense of humor. It's got some like uncle-y dad jokes, but it's fun for the most part. But you also get like enough serious like history and backstory and stuff like that. I think that the Meg just did not take itself as seriously as I thought it should have. It became more like Sharknado than like The Shallows.
I agree with that a little bit, because I think that the movie, that was the biggest problem I had with the movie, is I think that the movie never really knew what it wanted to be.
It vacillated.
I think sometimes it took itself very seriously.
Sure.
And then 5 seconds later, it treated itself like Sharknado.
I was buying the science in it at the beginning.
They didn't know what they wanted to be, but the second Rainn Wilson shows up, you're like, oh, this is a goofy movie. And then they go into this other story of where they're trying to get this emotional attachment between the father scientist and the daughter scientist, and that doesn't work at all. And they're trying to be super serious. There's two things that I thought really worked in this movie.
Hit me.
The sharks looked awesome. Really, to me, the sharks looked awesome. I loved the way the sharks looked. I actually did feel that I thought that the humans were a bunch of idiots and mean, because these things were on the bottom of the ocean.
Wasn't that weird? I did not feel bad. I don't feel bad for Bruce in Jaws. Yeah. I don't feel bad for the shark in The Shallows. I actually,
because nobody's bothering them.
I felt bad for the sharks.
They weren't bothering anybody where they were, and then because these idiots come in and open up this thing, and now they're it's like, okay, this is what they do. They eat things. Yeah. This is like Bruce was terrorizing people.
Bruce brought the fight to the shore.
Right, the
Shallows brought the fight to Blake Lively. This poor shark, just existing. I want to be like Peter and just dump a bucket of blood on him.
Right. But anyway, point is, that to me worked. The sharks look cool. Jason Statham was the second thing that was pretty cool. Statham going after those sharks now. You know what I mean?
There it is.
He to me was exactly what I wanted inside of this fun movie that I thought I was getting all the way around. He was the constant in that. Like I thought the action, the stuff, the character that he is. The Bruce Willis would have done this movie 20 years ago. You know?
Yeah. Statham's tone hit the right notes. Yeah. For the most part, some of the other performers did.
I'll say it. Terrible. Everybody else in this movie, minus his friend. He had his friend. I don't remember his name. His one friend who helps recruit him. He was really good.
Cliff Curtis.
Yes, Cliff Curtis is always good, and he's good in that. That's it. That's where it stops. Everyone else in this movie stinks.
I feel like this might be the first part of the movie where I was buying into it a lot more, and maybe that's because I wanted to at the beginning of the movie, and I slowly checked out. But there's a lot of unnecessary comedy that I think it's fine to open with some jokes and get us, we're into this vibe, we know it's a crazy shark movie. But I felt like the jokes actually started to overtake the storyline way too deep into the movie. And the jokes were bombing. They were, and it's also a lot of the death scenes were not taken serious. It's sharp, but people are gonna die.
Oh, the little girl was okay too.
Weren't taken seriously. Yeah. It felt like they were more used as like punchlines than anything else. And
sure, someone died and no one cared.
And I bought the science at the beginning, but it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to complain about, but it's like a bunch of people swimming near the shore, and there's like a huge 75-foot shark, and it's like, is the shark gonna go there? Like, isn't the shark gonna get like stuck in shout? It's 75.
At that point, you gotta suspend disbelief of all the nonsense that happens. But I mean, for me, that kind of stuff didn't bother me because I know what kind of ridiculousness I was in at that point. The stuff that got me was not knowing the tone, the really bad acting, them trying to get emotional. There's one scene, and I just have to say it because we're being honest here too. I don't know her as a person. I think Ruby Rose is a terrible actress. I do not think she's good at all. I think she was good in Orange Is the New Black, and that was it. I thought she was really bad in Triple X. I thought she was really bad in John Wick 2. They give her a crying scene in this one, and whoever gave her that crying scene should be fired.
I thought Ruby Rose.
I'll say that all she does every single movie is just like.
She wasn't didn't feel like I was being distracted by her. Rainn Wilson was the only one, but it wasn't Rainn Wilson's performance. I think it was just the lines that he was given. Because when he shows up, I buy his character.
I agree with that.
I just think that
the
these
direction
characters,
of his character was horrible.
Everybody, including Statham, gets more and more cartoony as the movie goes on. And look, I understand that that's the kind of thing that this is going to be. It's a giant shark. It's a crazy premise.
Right.
This movie ended up being a lot more like Geostorm than I thought it had to be. Because I'm watching the framework of this movie start to finish, and I'm like, there's a really good movie that takes itself seriously in here. The writing let me down more than the performances or the way the shark looked.
The novel itself took itself more seriously. The book took itself more seriously.
It could have been Jurassic Park and it ended up being Geostorm.
And hearing the way that the shark makes his way to the surface in the novel as opposed to the way they do it in the movie, it was just bad direction overall, from direction and writing to production. Everything, it was just handled wrong. They didn't know what they wanted this movie to be. I didn't really like it that much. The ending was really awesome. Statham was awesome. Sharks look cool. 2.2 out of 5 schmoes.
I'll go 2.5, just because there's entertainment value in here if you know what you're getting yourself into. But it's just, like I said, it's a lot more like the Sharknado movies or like a Piranha than I thought it had to be or even should have been. The one thing that I will say is that shark movies are fun, and it is fun to look at the shark. Was it my favorite shark design? No. And I think that Turtle Top, there's a couple moments in there that you really could have like punched us in the gut that I think he missed. Do you think that this movie would have been better if we got Nicolas Cage from National Treasure in here somewhere?
No, but I do think that both Turtle Top and Statham wanted this movie to be rated R, similar to the book. I think that, again,
Eli Roth was on this movie before Turtle Top was, and he left because he wanted a hard R and he wanted to play the role of Statham.
Well, the second part I would have fired him over also. You can't, no.
Guillermo del Toro was originally attached to this?
Is that true?
Yeah, this movie's had like 5 directors and they got Turtle Top.
Yeah, I don't, no offense to Turtle Top, just didn't like the way that this thing finally turned out. Didn't know what it wants to be.
Hey, we tried. We were looking forward to it. We missed.
Well, now it's time for you not to miss. All you have to do is click that button, and you'll find Harloff and Ellis. You'll find some more of our reviews over there, and then get a T-shirt. We got tons of T-shirts over at TeePublic. Check it out. Good stuff happening over there. And our live event happens on September 8th. The Schmodown live event, September 8th. Dan Merle is coming. He's going to have his partner. When does this come out, Cops, or this review?
It's going to be sometime in a couple days after the embargo's up.
So Dan Merle and John Roca will be teaming up together, going up against Stacey Howard.
You know we're in a little window right now.
Yeah, but I want to tell you, I couldn't do it before. Let everybody know.